from your local news source. This is ABC27 News, Daybreak.
Welcome to Daybreak. It is 6:30 on this Monday morning. I was telling you guys earlier, I let my son wear shorts today. I put out his outfit for this morning. I said, why not? It's going to be near 80 later.
Yeah, and even this morning, it's mild. I mean, last time we've had a morning this warm, you have to go all the way back to the first half of November. So it's been a while.
It was this warm in November?
A couple days.
Wow.
A couple warm days, and then it cooled off and just kind of
I was surprised
stayed
you didn't
cold.
say August.
Well, yeah. I don't want to think about August yet because I think by then we'll be pretty tired of it. But this morning, we'll enjoy the milder temps. It is rather cloudy in most places right now. Live look over Annville, Lebanon Valley College, mostly cloudy sky right now. Temperature 55 degrees. Check this out, though. Dew point also 55. So anytime the air temperature and the dew point are that close together or the same number, well, relative humidity about 100%. So it's a bit sticky out there this morning, but we did have a little bit of rain last night, too, that sort of helped with that. Only a couple hundredths of an inch, though. Temps elsewhere in the 50s. It's very mild. Our average high this time of year is around 60 degrees. So some places are already close to where we should be for a high, such as in York and Chambersburg. We're just short of 60 degrees right now. Wind speeds are light this morning, but there will be a breeze that picks up this afternoon out of the south. So it's going to be very mild today, but also on the windy side. We're expecting more clouds than sunshine today, but I think the bigger story will be the temps. Close to 70, if not already at 70 by the lunch hour, and then by this afternoon we'll be well into the 70s. A couple isolated showers, maybe a few thunderstorms will develop with that heat, but I'm looking at a mostly dry day today, far more hours dry than wet. The milder air sticks around for one more day, and then a noticeable cool down comes for the middle of the week. We'll time out those changes coming up in a few minutes. Back to you, Amanda.
All right, thank you, Addis. Let's take a look at the roads and this morning traffic watch across the mid-state. Looking pretty good. A lot of green out there. 2 crashes, though. Lancaster County drivers, 1 issue on 324 Mardukville Road. Looks like that is cleared. Another crash has popped up. 295 Susquehanna Trail, a crash at 921, which is Canal Road. We'll have your drive times coming up.
Happening today, it's a big day at the state capitol. We are following several events and votes that are scheduled for later today.
Among them is the first public hearing on a nuclear energy bill that, if passed, could keep 3 Mile Island from closing. Erica Moffett-Dilks live at the state capitol with more. Good morning, Erica.
Good morning. That's right. As you said, right now 3 Mile Island is set to close in September. But if this House Bill 11 does pass, that could change things. So we are joined this morning by Dauphin County Commissioner Mike Priest. Good morning. You are also co-chair of Clean Jobs for Pennsylvania. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning. How are you today?
Fine, thank you. And you're going to be speaking at today's hearing. Tell us a little bit about this bill and what role you're playing in it.
Well, this is a very significant moment in Pennsylvania history as it pertains to the environment and the economy, specifically here in central Pennsylvania. 2 years ago, we sounded the alarm that if TMI closes down, we will lose 675 full-time family-sustaining jobs, the salaries of over $60 million a year. They give $300,000 a year to local charities and over $1 million a year to the Lower Dauphin School District, to Londonderry Township, and Dauphin County. And this past year, we said that the clock is ticking, and if no action is taken, the 1,200 union laborers, skilled union laborers who are supposed to be at the plant in September, staying 30 days, which is the equivalent to 36,000 room nights, spending millions of dollars at our local hotels, restaurants, and businesses, they won't be here either. And the environmental significance from a clean energy standpoint and carbon-free emissions, that's close to 8 million vehicles off the roads here in Pennsylvania. So the time to act is now, and we need the legislature to look at this House bill, consider it strongly, and pass this thing so that the residents of Pennsylvania, specifically here in Dauphin County, can benefit.
Now, as with any bill or most bills, there are, of course, opponents to this who say that this is only a temporary bailout to the situation. How do you respond to that?
Well, when I watch television or open up the newspaper, it seems every day some state around the country is bending over backwards to give tax incentives or other breaks to businesses to come in. We have a business here, a multi-million dollar business that is impacting thousands of residents and families across central Pennsylvania that's going to leave. This is about job retention. If folks were saying they were bringing in a job like this or a company like this, folks would bend over backwards and say, come here to Pennsylvania. Well, this is a company that's here that's going to leave unless we take action now.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your time and for the information this morning. Today's hearing is going to be happening here at the Capitol at 11 o'clock. We're live in Harrisburg this morning. Erica Moffett-Dilks, ABC27 News.
All right, thank you, Erica, for that report this morning. Also happening today at the state capitol, a crime victims' rights rally. Survivors, advocates, and legislators will rally for Marsy's Law.
This comes the same day the House will vote to see if Marsy's Law can continue to the next step towards a constitutional change. Christine McClarty live at the Capitol with more. Christine?
Good morning. The Crime Victims Rally for Rights takes place here at the state capitol at 11 a.m. inside the main rotunda. Marsy's Law is a nationwide campaign to elevate victims' rights to be on the same playing field as their offenders. Because Marsy's Law requires a constitutional change, it has to make its way through 2 legislative sessions and then be approved by voters. It was approved by the General Assembly last year. Victims advocates are trying to push it along in the state legislature, but not everyone's on board. The ACLU of PA does not want Marsy's Law to pass. Their representatives say the bill runs into protection issues for the accused. Marsy's Law representatives disagree.
Identified as victims prior to that person being convicted, you therefore ruin someone's presumption of innocence.
Marsy's Law does absolutely nothing to take away one right from an accused individual.
2 differing opinions there. Now, a decision on Marsy's Law is up for final consideration in the House today. If it passes, the bill will be sent to the Senate and then on to get approval from the governor, and then it would appear on voter ballots in November. Reporting live at the state capitol this morning, Christine McClarty, ABC27 News.
All right, Christine, thank you for that report this morning. Well, the fight over statute of limitations reform is returning to the state capitol today. The House Judiciary Committee is scheduled to vote today on a pair of bills known as the Pennsylvania Hidden Predator Act. One eliminates the criminal statute of limitations for victims of child sex abuse moving forward. The other amends the state constitution to open a 2-year window for past victims to file a lawsuit even though their statute of limitations has run out. Right now, victims in Pennsylvania only have until the age of 30 to sue their abusers. We are expecting to learn more today about a homicide arrest in Cumberland County. The Cumberland County District Attorney, Skip Ebert, is holding a press conference this morning at 10 to discuss the arrest in a case involving a, quote, shaken impact death last year. We plan on being at the news conference, and we'll have an update on this case today at noon.
To the latest now on the American tourist who was kidnapped last week in Uganda. Kimberly Endicott is no longer in danger. Endicott and her guide were rescued on Sunday, days after a gang took them captive at gunpoint. The Ugandan police force says the 2 are in good health. The kidnappers repeatedly demanded $500,000, which officials refused to pay. However, money was handed over by the Wild Frontiers touring company, according to a source with knowledge of the exchange.
The government will not pay ransom. It doesn't want to set that precedent, especially in the Congo, because it will encourage more kidnappings. But there's actually nothing the government can do to stop those payments, especially if it's a gang.
President Trump commented on the situation Sunday afternoon, tweeting that he was pleased to report Endicott and her guide were released. The State Department said it was aware of the reports of the recovery, but would not comment further due to privacy considerations. Homeland Security Secretary Kirstjen Nielsen is out of a job this morning. Nielsen abruptly resigned on Sunday after a meeting with President Trump. Secretary Nielsen was a major player in implementing the controversial zero tolerance, which led to family separation at the border. Sources tell ABC News that Trump was frustrated with Nielsen for not doing more to curb the number of Central American families crossing into the U.S. President Trump has tapped U.S. Customs and Border Protection Commissioner Kevin McAleenan as the new acting head of Homeland Security.
It is now 6:39. Still to come on Daybreak, the little girl alone in a hospital with no visitors for months, and the nurse who fell in love with her at first sight. Their incredible story after the break.